Yeah, so we won't go in much detail, but what we're gonna do is that we will just skim it a bit. So you see weaknesses in MCQ section A: weak knowledge of completion and reporting stages, poor breadth of syllabus coverage, candidates struggle with topics not frequently tested, guessing answers instead of applying knowledge. That's something that you need to avoid. And that's something that we do in MCQs. Do not try to guess your answer. Try to use your knowledge. The suggestion is for improvement: practice exam kit MCQs regularly under time condition. And this is something very important for section A, because in live sessions we'll be focusing way more on section B's, because section B requires drafting. For section A, what I expect from you all is take your pre-recorded sessions and every day practice section A MCQs. Okay, because practicing section A MCQs is actually part of your preparation and probably part of obtaining knowledge. Many times you won't be able to obtain knowledge in from lectures or from notes, but from attempting MCQs and then checking the suggested answers. So basically, that's exactly what I want to say is that from day one, make a habit of practicing one MCQ every day or two MCQs every day. Take them seriously, because they can become a real problem if not dealt with properly. Okay, let's see what they are saying for section B. You see, planning and risk assessment. I told you all that this is such a favorite top area of your examiner, and this is based on the uh, audit stage itself. Vague responsibilities, vague answers, generic risk not linked to the scenario, weak knowledge of accounting standards. What did I tell you in the beginning of the class? That your FR knowledge will come very handy, because you need to know the accounting standards, but you don't have to be a champion, but at least you have to have some basic knowledge of the accounting standards themselves. Generic risk not linked to the scenario. That means students are just writing their book-based knowledge. Section B is all about scenarios and all about application. It's all about how you use the information. And so is section A. But in section A, you have limited, your scope is limited, because you have got four options or five options to deal with, and you have to select the right option. In section B, actually, you can impress the examiner. The ground is yours by showing him your beautiful writing skills. Your writing skills, your exam technique can definitely impress the examiner. Okay. And that's why they say use the case scenario. Many times, even if you don't have the right book knowledge, which should not be the case, but you know how to use the scenario in the right way, in the right manner, you will definitely excel and pass. Trust me. So you see, use a structured approach, identify. So that's something that we'll definitely deal with later on. I'll also share this document on my screen at the end of this session. Sorry, at the end of in the last live session for December 2025 sitting, say after 3 months or say after 2 months. So when I'll be resharing this in the end of November, this document will make way more sense, because at that time we would have discussed and dealt with all these questions. Okay, so you would be able to recall all the exam techniques that we discussed in the live sessions. Right now many things might not make sense to you, but all I want to show is why students fail and what suggestions the examiners have um, given. So they say your risk should be tailored to the scenario, no generic textbooks, and students possess not generic textbook, and students possess good accounting knowledge. Say same goes for substantive vague procedures. generic answers, not linked to the assertions. You'll see later what assertions are. Link each procedure to assertion. Familiarize yourself with accounting standards basics. Practice tailoring procedures. That means your procedures, anything you write should be linked to the scenario in hand. You can't really ignore it. Internal controls, clear format, confusing test of control with recommendation, that shows lack of knowledge, weak knowledge. Recommendations too vague or impractical. Anything. So see, you see one thing's common: lack of knowledge or insufficient knowledge. Lack of knowledge will definitely, you will be confusing two different concepts. Insufficient knowledge is something else. If you have insufficient knowledge, then you won't be able to apply um, whatever that knowledge to the scenario. Your recommendations will be vague. So the examiner at this level expects you to use your knowledge rather than just giving book-based answers. Nobody wants bookish answers. Okay. Same goes for code of ethics. General observation. Knowledge based questions. Sir, what are knowledge based questions? We'll see them in a while. So, this is also a very, very important element that I have to discuss. Okay. I mean, this knowledge based questions may not reward you much marks during in your AA exam, but we can't ignore them either. Okay. So, I'll give you how, I'll tell you how we will deal with them. Okay. General observations. So they, again, they are not very rewarding, but they can't be ignored at the same time. Time management remains a recurring weakness. So that's why I say allocate minimum 1.8 minute per. So sorry, that's what the examiner says, 1.8. I will say 1.5 minute per mark. Forget about 1.8 minute. From now on, stick it into your heads. It's 1.5 minutes per mark. Generic, untailored answers score poorly. Apply to the scenario. Use correct ISA terminology. I mean, you don't have to use the accounting standard numbers or the auditing standard numbers, but your terminologies should be right. Like unmodified opinion, unqualified. There is no such word as unqualified. Avoid copy pasting. Summarize in your own words. Practice on CBE platform. So I'll show you what the CBE platform is later on. Definitely for stress, pressure, and time management. Even the examiner is recommending stress, pressure, and time management, aren't they? So we are very much aligned with the examiner, aren't we? So these are examiner words. I've just tried to summarize them some way or the other. And does anybody have any question?